Welcome back to the Pittsburgh Sports Saviors. It is February 12th, Thursday night, about 7:35 p.m. And we got drama in Pittsburgh, Lee. The Pittsburgh Steelers.
Drama in Pittsburgh. Here we go.
Only a few weeks since they got rid of Mike Tomlin, and we already got infighting amongst the former players, all brought on by a current player who has to have a podcast. So let's get right into it. Let's get right into Cam Hayward's podcast.
Let's get into it.
Not Just Football is what it's called. Here is Joey Porter.
All right. Real quick before you jump in, I just want to say he has been a topic of mine all season. And now we're getting more into him into the offseason. Cameron Hayward, a guy I've been talking about. And so here we go. I'm ready to jump into what he has to go.
Yep, here we go. It's about a 10-minute clip that I'm going to show. I'm trying to get all the context from everything. I don't want to leave anything out.
Yeah.
So we're going to go 10 minutes here on the podcast. Not Just Football with Cam Hayward.
Some guys are coming on here making up stories.
Well, I'll give you an example, right? Okay. Everybody's been bashing about Mike too, since he's retired. And I don't like it because that doesn't speak to the man or the character or the coach he was. But there's an axe to grind with a lot of former players that makes no sense, especially when they've looked out for him.
Well,
He's
now,
looked out for them.
This is their only opportunity to do it. That's what's weak about it. It's like they waited for him to retire to come out and be like, well, I actually never really liked him, or he did this as a coach, or he wasn't as good at this or that.
Give me an example. Who y'all talking about? Y'all talking.
So I actually respect that a lot from Porter.
Yeah.
They were being very vague on what they're talking about like that. So Porter does go straight to the point here. And they're about to name two former Steeler greats.
Here we go.
First up is going to be James Harrison.
Oh boy,
who has been talking about Tomlin for months now.
Very vocal.
And we talked about it on a single episode. The point though that Rossini made there about the wait until he was gone. Now, he was doing this during the season too.
Yeah.
You'll see I'm going to pull clips from Ben. They were both doing this during the season. Neither one of them waited for him to be out of the job for them to go on the attack on him. So I don't know if Cam Hayward was talking about other people, but he doesn't really give too much insight on what he was talking about. So we can only go off of what they talk about here.
Yeah.
So that's what Porter has to say.
All right.
About James?
Yes.
I mean, James has been vocal, as has Ben. Both have been vocal.
So both of them been vocal, being who they are. They tell the version of the story in Pittsburgh that they want to tell. So their version is predicated on making them look good on how they see it during their time, right? But then you have somebody like me who's actually been there when both of them guys was rookie. Like when I say I know him, I know him.
Yep.
So when they was saying all the stuff about Mike, I don't really watch Ben stuff, but I'll see James stuff. And me and James talked for like 2 hours. And he know I disapproved of everything. And he said, he was like, come to my podcast. I said, nah, I'm not going to come to your pod because I'm not trying to go on your pod to make you look bad. Because if I'm on there, when that question's asked, I'm going to tell the truth.
Well, look, we could probably do a whole series on this.
Yes, we could.
But like, I don't even want to go here, but what's the rub? Like, what's the problem? What is James's problem?
We don't know. So this is what he says. He said, well, he lied to me in 2013, 14, or some year that he wanted to come back and play. And Mike was like, no, he telling people, no, he didn't want to come back and play. So he made that his sticking point of, when I was trying to come back before I went to Cincinnati, I wanted to sign. And he was telling them that I didn't want to come back. Cold word for a coach saying I don't want him back.
Correct.
Right? Everybody that's in the league.
He just didn't want to hurt your feelings.
So everybody knows that it's not a lie. So if I tell you that, if I'm telling people that you're asking, I don't want you to come back, or I'm saying you don't want to come back, that means I don't want you to come back.
Yep.
Right? But I'm saying you don't want to come back because basically I don't want you back. And that's okay.
You following that? What are your thoughts on that specifically? Of note, though, before you answer that, sorry.
Yeah.
Joey Porter played 3 seasons with Ben and
James Harrison.
Sorry, Harrison may be a little longer. I can't remember the exact timeline on Harrison, but Harrison was mainly practice squad during the time that Joey Porter was here. Obviously, he did coach Harrison as well at one point.
Yeah.
So just to give a little context, but what are your opening thoughts on what Harrison's or what Porter's saying here.
I mean, I don't know. I kind of find it hard to believe that Mike Tomlin wouldn't want him to come back. I mean, James Harrison was a very, very talented player. I mean, I know that he was on practice squad for a while, and then, he, had to make his presence known in order to get onto the team and things like that. And, I know he started off with Bill Cowher, and then, he went on with Mike Tomlin, and then, he was on the team for a good bit. He shined under Dick LeBeau for sure and things like that. And, when things changed with Keith Butler and, and then he moved on, to the Patriots. I don't know if that I can't see Mike Tomlin saying, I don't want you around and not having him around for a season or whatever. I mean, I get that that James Harrison was a little bit of a, probably a harder guy to coach, but in that retrospect, I don't, really see Mike Tomlin, saying that when Mike Tomlin's a big defensive guy, you know what I mean? All about defense and things like that, and not wanting to have a player like James Harrison on the team is just, I don't know. I just don't believe it. I don't know. Maybe it's true. It's just kind of just odd for him to say that.
So I do believe that's the case. And I think this is about the time. This is like 2012, 2013. Remember, he goes to Cincinnati for a season.
That's right. Yeah, that's right. Yep.
I do think this is – I don't think Porter is lying about him not wanting Harrison. Who knows the context of how those conversations were having and whatnot. He does go deeper into that, so we'll let him play a little bit more.
Okay. All right.
Because, when you are a player that he was at the time, right, so you can deal with the personality when you're playing at a high level, and I have to pay you this much money, right? So when you're playing at the high level and you're the best player in the world, I have to accept who you are as the player. But once that play level drops, so the same guy that was probably playing 12, 13 million, whatever the number was, now getting you to come back for a minimum, you can't be the same guy you was for minimum.
Yep.
Right? So guess what? I don't want that, because he's still going to act like this character, but I'm not paying you that no more. So I don't want to deal with the Debo character that we created, because you don't get to still do that at the 1.5, right? I put up with just whatever the shit was that I put up with when you were playing good. But for this number, you're not going to be in that same role.
Exactly.
So do you keep that, guys? Like the NBA players, that it's hard to have a mellow or a great player on your team coming off the bench, right? It's always been hard for the NFL guys to bring basically the Hall of Famer back on the team with a different role. His anger towards Mike was in a way of damn, man, if you don't like that, if that's the one thing that he did bad to you, you're going to say he's a bad coach. You're going to take his greatness away. You're going to say he's not a good coach. And I told him, I said, how can you say he's not a great coach? Well, everything that happened good to you in football was under his watch.
Because of him. Yep.
Like your Debo name, when I played with you, you was James Harrison. Called you Silverback. Nobody knew you. Because under Cowher, they cut you 3 times. You was looked at as a special team player. Under Mike, 3 or 4 Pro Bowls, defense player of the year, playing 2 championships, paid you over 50-something million. You thought you did all of that?
Yep.
You think the head coach didn't have his hand in making that player? So when you say he did nothing for you, that's crazy. Then it's damn, why would you?
I'm gonna pause right there. There's a lot of truth in what he was saying.
Yeah, you know what? I think I have to retract what I said, because now I understand exactly what he's trying to say, because of just especially the divas that we've had on our team. Antonio Brown, George Pickens, people, and I get that wide receivers are divas, but you have people like that he kind of dealt with as well, and kind of had them on the team, and and made them kind of who they are. I can see exactly what Joey Porter is saying about James Harrison, because James Harrison is definitely a diva type of player, and he definitely has a bravado and attitude about him that he is a type of way. And I can see that, like what Joey Porter's saying, that, Mike Tomlin can only take so much of that, and you're not going to be the same player that he was with that. You're going to be a minimum type of, so I get it. Yeah, there's a lot of truth in it. I completely agree now. I see that. Yes, I can see that, everything what Joey Porter is saying is 100%, true with, with stuff like that.
Yeah, his perspective is fair.
Yes.
Fair. He's coming from a fair place.
Yes.
And the craziest thing is, I think this is so much more interesting than the Ben stuff we're about to get into. But it seems like this got like lost in the talk about Ben.
Yeah.
But this conversation's way more interesting.
It really is. Yeah.
And what we're gonna get into with Ben. But yeah, and Harrison has been coming after Tomlin. I thought listening to some of Harrison's criticisms, there were fair criticisms on his end too, related to how like, and we've all talked about like how the Steelers seem to have fallen off, have all those things like that. But let's go a little further into this conversation.
Yeah.
Did you take a shot at the guy who changed your life? Because Cowher didn't change your life. Cowher cut you 3 times. Then he's like, oh, well, Butts is considered a good coach and Mike Tomlin's not. I say, Coach Butler is a good coach, but you gonna call him a great coach? And I'm not shitting on Butts because I love Butts. What's the difference? If you giving Butts great coaches, I said, why you didn't make the team the first 3 times you got cut if you're so damn great?
Yeah.
How did you keep getting cut? You know what I'm saying? Because like a great coach, you're gonna know the defense and not get cut. You know what I'm saying? So we went back and forth in our banter, but like I told him, like, I didn't agree with none of it because I just feel like you took a shot at Mike. And you know, in this space, Mike ain't gonna defend himself in this space. No. You know what I'm saying? He gonna do that. And it's like, that's just weak for you to take a shot at somebody who's changed your life. Whether you think you did all that work, they changed the defense for you. They made it easy for you to run the defense. You didn't have to run the real 3-4.
Why do you think that's lost in all of his memory of it?
It was not lost. It was like, you got a pod, I'm gonna take my shot, run up. Because like, we brought you back for 4 more years, right? After you retired, and me coaching him, I seen with my own eyes how they were trying to set the stage to build his career to be the all-time sacker, help pad his stats and give him a chance to go to Canton. First player I coached ever late in his years that didn't have much that was airmail to the 53. When you're in year 14, 15, and you're not a starter, you got to make the team. You're in this age, you don't even play special teams. Like, we're keeping a spot for you for 20 plays a game.
Yeah.
That's the 5th, 6th linebacker, he has to play special teams.
How do you think James would have reacted if they were a little bit more harsh with the reality of it? If Mike said, look, kind of what we both know in the situation takes, again, common sense.
When me and Butts was fighting to get James back, Mike said, I don't want to do nothing with him. I said, because I don't, mind you, I did not know the Debo character. I didn't know he was really living that character. When Michael said, no, man, I don't want to deal with it. He said, I'm like, what are you talking about? He said, man, he's going to be Debo when he come back. I'm like, what the hell does that mean? Like, he's like, I'm just telling you, man. So me and Butts kept asking for him because we just lost Jarvis here, broke his wrist. The guys that we let go wasn't good enough to come back and help us. We like, damn, man, James is the only one out there that he could come and help us until we get somebody next year. And then when we got him back, he got to instantly play because Jarvis' wrist is broke. So now he's getting playing time. And he played. And that brought his confidence back because he was needed. And then he got an extension. But now we drafted TJ the next year. So now it's understood. Debo is going to sit down because TJ and Bud, we went first rounder, back-to-back outside linebackers. Come on, man.
Yep. So there's a lot there again.
Yeah.
Go ahead on whatever you want to hit on there.
No, I mean, again, I have to retract now just after hearing what, Joey Porter was saying. Again, a lot of this makes sense, and I can definitely see everything that he's talking about because I don't know if you ever watched the NFL films. They do like the NFL Life, and there was one of James Harrison that they had done, and it's definitely the way he portrayed himself in that little thing that they did about him is exactly the way that Joey Porter's talking about, and it's like it really is like trying to. He is a character. He's portraying that character. Once he got that, like Debo, he's playing that character, and he's being that guy out there on the field. And it's like, and not just on the field, he's being that as just the person in general. I mean, I again, like you had talked about it, and we had seen it when we talked about with clips with other things in the season, going on. James Harrison was talking about Mike Tomlin and things like that was going on. It wasn't like he's doing it now that Mike Tomlin's gone. But I can definitely see exactly what Joey Porter is talking about right now, about how, you don't want to be around that type of character. You don't want to be around that type of person all the time. And, you were already older. We brought you back because somebody got hurt, things like that. And then it's like, now we got younger guys we brought in. They're going to be the new starters and things like that. And for you to feel like you got shitted on when you didn't, when you had a great career with the team. I mean, he talked about how, Bill Cowher and all these other people were great coaches, but like Joey Porter said, he was cut 3 times. And they talk about that in his little film too. It's the same thing, And so, Mike Tomlin gave him that chance and gave him the opportunity. And, for him to be the player that he was, to have the career that he did, to be able to make plays around him, make the defense easy for him and things like that, to be able to get out there and play. Because even in that show, they had with him, they talk about how he didn't understand and didn't know how the plays were going and things like that when he was under Bill Cowher. And I think, like Joey Porter just said, they made it easy for him to be able to be out there on the defense to make plays and things like that and have the career that he did. So there's a lot of truth in all of that. It is very interesting that, like you said, everything that they really were talking about was Big Ben, but this all got like washed to the back. Like they didn't even know this had happened. So it is very interesting to actually hear that this actually was part of the whole conversation that was going on. That this is really interesting to hear.
Yeah, the 10 there's about 10 minutes that I'm playing from this, and probably 8 or 9 is about Harrison and Porter. And then there's just that minute of Roethlisberger that we'll get to eventually that everyone's talking about. But I thought there was a lot of stuff in there that was interesting. I think there might be a little bit more too that Porter goes into with Harrison, but like the idea that they were trying to like pad stat kind of to get him into that Hall of Fame level. Towards the end there, it's something we might talk about, but the fact that we know that Porter's saying that Porter's the coach of the linebackers at this point, and he's saying that they were trying to like make it so that Harrison can get some numbers up.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
It is interesting.
You played a long time ago, but we want to keep you to teach. Be the great mentor in there, airmailing you to the 53. So when I watch somebody do all that greatness for you, and you treat him like that, man, that don't sit right with nobody, man. It's frowned upon for real. It looks
Diana, you're getting the scoops.
Well, I think you guys can say they broke the brotherhood. They broke the brotherhood.
Well, he broke the brotherhood. Then 7 definitely broke the brotherhood because, like,
that's the one I don't understand.
The shit that 7 did that we don't talk about.
I know.
Is crazy. Like out of anybody should talk, he should never grab a microphone and really talk Steeler business.
Yeah.
Because if we talking Steeler business, his ass is foul of all foul. Like the shit that he's did is foul of all foul. He's not a good teammate. Won a Super Bowl with him, but the person, he's just not a good teammate. Like he knows that. Anybody in the Steeler building knows that, but we protected him because I've only won 1 Super Bowl, and that was my quarterback. So do I love my quarterback? Yeah, but is he a good person? No.
Why wasn't he a good teammate though?
So go back to when we played. So when I had to have my stand-up meeting and talk to.
Before we get into that, just when you're opening, this is an interesting story too. I want to stop before we get into it. So finish it up on Harrison. Any thoughts on what he had said about Harrison at the end?
I mean, no. I mean, it's again like you had brought up, and Joey Porter kind of said it too, and you had brought it up, like how they were trying to beef up his career towards the end there to get him, that notoriety, to be able to get some nice stats, get people to talk about him and things like that, and bring up his plays and things like that. It is very interesting to hear, and to, again, at first I didn't want to believe it, but then you listen to all this and it's like, okay, you know what? It's actually right. It's just crazy that, for James Harrison to talk negatively, and I think James Harrison is a great player, but for him to talk negatively about a guy that gave him the chance and the career that he had, and to be able to get the stats that he had, to be an all-time great Steeler player and all-time great football player in general, in that linebacker, outside linebacker position, it just boggles my mind that somebody would do that. But it is very interesting, everything that Joey Porter spoke about with James Harrison.
I will push back a little bit. If Harrison believes what he's saying, he has every right to say it. The part you're pointing out, like how he should personally feel about Tomlin, like he gave him all that, but you could still be an honest broadcaster if you think that Tomlin
100%,
the locker room, or if you think Tomlin made mistakes along the way. I don't have any problem with you saying that at all. Actually, I do want that out there. But now on to Ben. Like I said, Porter and Ben were teammates for 3 years. I'm pretty sure 04 through 06. And then I when Porter was the coach, I think Roethlisberger had to still be there.
Yeah, I think he was still there for a little bit. Yeah.
So let's see. Exactly. This story right here is interesting, and I think it's pretty much a given from everyone that young Ben Roethlisberger was a piece of shit.
Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah.
To the team, Aaron Smith, one of my best.
Hell of a dude.
We got drafted.
I love Aaron.
We got drafted the same. I was 3rd round. He was 4th round. We're playing. You have family come in towns during the holidays or whatever. It don't matter when it is. If any family member say, "Hey man, Joey, can you get so-and-so to sign this?" It's easy. I get it. Hey man, sign this for my family. His name is so-and-so. You sign it. He was telling people, no, I'm not going to sign that. So once he did that, who they come and tell? The captain. When he first did it to Chris Hokie, I was like, damn, that's messed up, man. I grabbed it from Hokie, took it over there, and told him to sign it. But then when he did to Aaron Smith, now I got to have a meeting. Like, you're a rookie. You're a young guy.
Yeah.
You can't tell my vets you too cool to sign for my vets. Who the hell is too cool to sign for your teammate? Like, I'm not a fan.
Correct.
Motherfucker, I strap on with you every day. I'm in practice with you every day.
That's your brother.
Like,
that's your brother.
So you separated yourself from the group because, first of all, I got Jerome Bettis on my team, the one shoe-in Hall of Famer, right? Now he's nice, it's cool. If don't stop,
she will take off his shirt for you.
Jerome will stop.
He will take the shirt off his back.
I've seen people come up to us while we're eating, and Jerome will, hold on 1 second, man. Get in there, take his picture, get him back to eating, and wave, do all that. So when you have a young guy telling me what you're not going to do for a teammate, shit, you already on the outside, but you're a good ass quarterback.
And that was early. He's young. How's that
how do you think that monster turned into when all the vets is gone?
It didn't get much better.
So when all the vets is gone, now he has some say-so. I always looked at it like this. Look at the team when Joey was a captain, when Jerome was a captain, when Hines Ward was a captain. You heard nothing in the locker room. We did. Captains have to do captain shit, right? Mm-hmm. We voted to be captains. You had to be voted in. He came in an era where they just gave you the seat. Because if he wasn't a captain, he'd probably have a hissy fit. But nobody's going to vote for him as captain because he don't have no captain quality.
Support for the show comes from McDonald's new.
There we go. We'll end it there on this one here.
Oh boy.
A lot was said. To give some more context before we get into it, I tried to find exactly what Ben has said since the firing, and I don't think he said anything really. So
I don't think so
I do have. I'm going to try to pull up a clip from during the season. This was early December. I think we might have played this on here, but I figured we'd pull it up real quick just in case.
Yeah.
And it may be, and I know it's being talked about around here a lot. Maybe it's time. Maybe it's a clean house time. Maybe it is. Maybe it's time. And I like Coach Tomlin. I have a lot of respect for Coach Tomlin. But maybe it's best for him too.
Sure.
Maybe a fresh start for him is what's best. Whether that's in the pros, whether maybe go be Penn State's head coach. You know what he would do in Penn State? He'd probably go win national championships.
Because
he's a great recruiter.
That's what was I having a conversation? We probably had this.
Probably.
Or I was having this conversation the other day. I'm like, Coach T in college would be one of the greatest college football coaches of all. You're telling me now? I don't know what the climate of college football is now with the NIL, the portal, and all that. I mean, it's like the Wild West down there.
For sure.
which is insane that it's not been regulated to some degree. But I'm sure that's probably by design. But not saying he should leave his job. Again, equally, I'm a fan of who Tomlin is. But I understand and respect the sentiment of the frustration of the fan base saying, man, something's got to go. And it's like, you go to the top of the pyramid, bro. And you have to, if all this is a mess, like you are responsible, you are accountable. What is the likelihood? Maybe you don't know. This is just kind of like a, BSing about football at the bar kind of question. How does that even take place? If you're talking about cleaning house, what is the reality of something like that happening in Pittsburgh? It seems so uncharacteristic of how
it is. It is uncharacteristic.
Is that even plausible for this organization?
Well, it's happened. I mean, listen, here's what you don't do. You don't fire a guy like Coach Tomlin. He's a Hall of Fame coach. He's respected. What you do is you come to an understanding and agreement. And it's like, hey, listen, I think it's probably best for both of us. And you don't, because listen, we've had the same head coach and Coach Tomlin. We've had different offensive coordinators, different defensive coordinators, but it's kind of been the same story. We've had a few offensive coordinators now, and the offense looks a lot the same. This looks a lot like Matt Canada's offense. I mean, in terms of just like, where's the splash? Where's this? And so again, this is us watching from just not knowing what's going on. Is it our players? Is the scheme great and the players are messing up? We don't know.
Yeah.
I'm just saying from sitting back on the couch at home watching. And the defense is, you've got the highest paid defense and guys, we just talked about it. Like, there's no reason that some of the things that are happening. So therefore it tells me, hey coach, listen, I think it's probably best for all parties involved. Let's start over.
Yeah.
It happened with Chuck Noll.
Sure.
Happened with Coach Cowher. Now Coach Cowher's was a little bit different, right? Because of family things. Coach Tomlin's been here a long time. And you would give him a statue, do whatever you got to do, because he deserves it.
Yeah.
He's earned it. But it's like, okay, it's time to find that next guy. And who's that next guy that could be here for the next 20 years? And just like Coach Cowher helped get Coach Tomlin could help get him. And I think, I don't know this, I haven't talked to Coach Tomlin about it, but I think he might say like it's time for a fresh start.
We'll end it there. So yeah. I mean, he is talking about getting rid of him for sure.
Yeah,
he's putting it out there, but I thought he was very politically correct. He didn't bash Tomlin at all, but that's the roughest thing I could find from Roethlisberger on Tomlin. So going back to the
Joey
beginning
Porter.
of this whole thing with Porter and everything. Porter may not even know what Ben had said at all. He just might have gone off of what he was told by whoever that random guy on the end is. We got to get rid of those jobs. Maybe we should reach out to AD to be the random fuck on the end of the screen who just talks and has no point, but he's out there for some reason. So what are your thoughts in general on Roethlisberger and him as a teammate and Porter's take on him there?
Okay, look, and you made a great point, and you just said this. Young Ben Roethlisberger was a piece of shit. The shit he did, I mean, and got away with is absolutely insane. The guy was reckless. He had that motorcycle accident where he almost died. You know, he had a whole bunch of controversy with other things, and he assaulted women. Going to come in as a rookie and think that yes, he assaulted women. He was very.
Let's not lie about
it in that aspect. He assaulted women. He was very inappropriate in that aspect. Yes, it's very controversial. But for him to come in as a rookie, if he really came in and was like, "I'm too cool to sign a jersey or sign this or sign that for a teammate," and a family member, things like that, that's kind of insane. And you're a rookie. You're coming straight out of college, thinking you're the new big guy on campus when there's veterans around and the culture of the Steelers is a certain way, and you're going to come in thinking you're going to be, and that's who he was. He was Big Ben before he got married, before things were fucking, before his career transgressed, he was fucking reckless and out of control. And that's exactly what we saw in the media in his personal life. So obviously Joey Porter is speaking the truth by saying he was like that as a teammate, and it's crazy that he was that bad of a teammate early on. Now, again, we saw what we saw. He was a great quarterback on the field, and once he got married, he wasn't really in the media to know anything. But if Joey Porter is saying it because he was a teammate and a coach and saw it, I mean, it's got to be true. I mean, Joey Porter spoke a lot of facts, and it's very interesting. Now, what Ben Roethlisberger said there, I think that was around that time. There was that Bills game. There was a chance of fire Tomlin.
Yep.
The season was getting real crazy. It was real bad. And again, he was not bashing Tomlin at that point. He was just speaking facts about how us as viewers watching from the couch, what we were seeing with the Steelers and how the games were going and things like that. So I can understand exactly where he's going with. I don't know exactly what Ben said, but obviously it must have been something that really pissed Joey Porter off for him to go into detail with that type of story. So, it's wild to think that, the stuff we don't know that goes on behind the scenes with the actual team itself in the locker room.
So then we had other former players reach out and comment themselves. With the first one here, go off at J. Porter 55 comes from Mason Rudolph. So it's insane that Rudolph would say
he backed up. He backed up for a little bit, So hey,
we know that they didn't always have a great relationship, but for Mason Rudolph to publicly say that is crazy in my eyes.
Oh, that's insane.
Mike Mitchell, Peasy talk that talk.
Mike Mitchell, he was on the team for a little bit. And did he go to the Bengals? I think afterwards. And wow, that's
So Mike Mitchell's on his side. Mike Adams, the tackle. Amen.
Wow.
Hold them boys accountable. Ben talking shit about anybody is comical. That's Mike Adams. And then two more linemen here. Kevin Dotson, just 2 exclamation points. Kendrick Green, real LOL.
Yeah.
And then Ike Taylor, Ramon Foster both liked the clip of Porter talking about it. Antonio Brown, on the other hand, has publicly came out with Roethlisberger, calling him a great teammate.
He's a fucking clown himself. What the fuck?
I also saw I don't have it listed here, but Zach Banner came out and was on Ben's side a little bit, talking about how good of a teammate he was and how he's there for him through tough times. Duck Hodges also came out on Ben's behalf. So we got a little bit of everything going on.
Oh boy,
this is some high school shit.
It really is. It's fucking silly. Grown men.
The craziest thing about this, I think this is the last part of it I want to talk about, is you have Joey Porter, Steeler legend, but also the father of a current Pittsburgh Steeler.
Yes.
They're doing this on a current Pittsburgh Steelers podcast. Like, what are we doing? What are we doing?
It's high school. These are grown men.
I get looking to the future. I get all that stuff. Maybe Cam, you would think Cam's coming back. He had all the big deal about getting the extension and all that and everything.
Yeah.
You have to expect that he plans on playing another year. It's just like, why divide any part of the fan base? Why divide the locker room for I don't get it. A podcast? And they had time to think about whether to post this or not. That looked like that was from Super Bowl week, right?
Yeah,
they were on. It looked like they were live.
That definitely looked like it. Yeah,
at the Super Bowl. And the fact that Rossini was there too, because she's a national reporter, it had to be that week. So they had time to decide: do we put this out? Do we cause this drama? And it was worth it for him. Worth the clicks to get the.
It was worth it for him.
And we're talking about it.
They just wanted the clicks.
10 minutes of it. So it all worked out for him, I guess.
Yeah, they wanted the clicks, they wanted the views. So I don't know. I mean, it's going to be interesting to see what's going to happen in the coming weeks. Now we have Mike McCarthy as the new coach. To see about who's going to be coming back. I mean, again, the draft is not for a few more months, or a couple months. So it'll be interesting to see if anything kind of comes about with this. If we're going to get any pushback from Ben Roethlisberger, if we're going to get any pushback from James Harrison after this. I know this will probably be going on for a little bit. And
Harrison will definitely say something.
I don't know. 100%. He's definitely going to say something. I don't know if Ben will, but he might on his podcast. Who knows? But it'll be interesting to see in the coming weeks, what's going to be the outcome of all this. So I don't know. You got grown men fighting. What are we doing?
Yeah.
Grown men fighting like they're children.
One more thing on Cam. Cam Hayward got there in 2011, right? Porter's talking about the captains and Ben. This was a captain during a lot of that time. Is Cam Hayward also? So that was indirectly a shot at him without Cam realize. Maybe he didn't realize he didn't say anything, but that he talked about how whenever the real leaders left, that the new leadership wasn't as good.
Yeah.
Cam Hayward, that is you that he's talking about there. Just so we throw it out there. But Hayward, he didn't push back on two of his teammates either. He's teammates with Harrison and Roethlisberger. He let Porter say everything he said. Didn't give them any backup there. You could say that's him agreeing with Porter. You could say that him afraid to insult his guest was there, but it's important to note that he didn't push back in any way, really. Yeah,
no, not at all. I mean, I think he kept it a little professional and didn't take a side. I think he was, non-biased in that and just kind of just let his guests be able to speak their mind and things like that. So, I don't know if there'll be pushback from him for not standing up. I guarantee, like you said, if Harrison says something, he'll definitely say something about Cam Hayward, probably not speaking up. I don't know if Ben Roethlisberger will say anything. Who knows? But again, it'll be very interesting to see what's going to come about with all of this in the coming weeks of all this. So we'll see what happens.
Yep. And then we'll get some baseball going too. Pittsburgh Pirates started pitchers and catchers reported this week. They are currently projected by Fangraphs to finish second place in the division with 82 wins. Wow. They're giving them a 42% chance to make the playoffs, which is up from, I think, 20% at the beginning of last season. So double their chances to make the playoffs according to their metrics. Second place, we'll get into talking about the moves they made. Hey. The highest payroll they've had in the history of the franchise.
Hey, I think Bob Nutting's finally, hearing from the fans and, hearing what people want to see. I mean, 'cause this guy doesn't spend money. He's cheap as fuck. How the hell are you a billionaire? You don't want to win. You just fucking paying your guys the bare minimum. Come on, man. Sell the
I guarantee
team.
you,
get somebody else in
Lee, it was not the fans that have made him decide to win.
I know.
They
are
not the one. I'm sure he's getting pushback from MLB. It's probably the most logical thing. Yeah. Maybe one of his daughters talked to him and said, "Hey, Dad, you kind of suck at this. We're supposed to take over. Why don't you do a little better so when we take over, we don't get treated like shit when we walk the streets of Pittsburgh."
Yeah.
I don't know. But anyway,
I'm excited. I'm excited for. I don't know. Well, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Maybe Ike Taylor will take us on as the random fuck on the edge of the screen.
We have to get on his podcast.
Someone's out there. Some random. Maybe what's Chris Hoke doing? Chris Hoke's probably he worked with CBS.
Chris Hoke.
He probably got a good guy working his sidelines.
What's Nate? What's fucking not Nate Washington? I was gonna say Nate Washington, not him. Ryan Clark. What's he up to? Is he still with
He's on ESPN? Yeah, he's on ESPN.
He might. Maybe we got to get him. See what he's doing.
I think Antonio Brown's the best option because he might just forget one day that he's rich and say, you know what, I'll get Lee on my podcast and he'll help me out.
Yeah. You see he was on Kill Tony?
No. When's he on that?
Yeah. He was already on it.
Did it record it? They already played it?
I think it's already recorded. I saw Kill Tony was talking about his two guests and one of them was Antonio Brown. He came out with a fucking army helmet on, fucking silly as fuck. It's like, oh no.
I did see it. Okay, it was a while ago. I think now.
Yeah,
but it's season. Either way, Lee, have a great night.
I'm excited about the Pirates. I'm excited. Pirates are coming up. We'll get to talk about that.
Yeah, don't shoot all your bullets.
The Winter Olympics is on. Winter Olympics is on. We got the Winter Olympics. Hopefully, USA.
Yeah,
hockey,
USA hockey at the first game today.
Seahawks won the Super Bowl. Fuck the Patriots. Got Sam Darnold. Got a Super Bowl ring. That's all I got to say.
Yeah, that Super Bowl happened this week, huh?
I know.
I completely forgot about that Super Bowl. Whoops.
Shout out Sam Darnold.
Shout out Sam Darnold.
Yeah.
All right, Lee. I'll fucking see you next time.
All right. I'll see you. Have a good one.